And welcome back. This is Good Morning Kenya, and of course today is Thursday, all right? Entertainment Thursday. No, they say too much work and let's play make Victor, sorry, Tom. Okay, all right, Victor, a dull boy. So let's play today just by entertaining ourselves. It's good. Even God loved entertainment. That's why David played a harp to God. I got it. Good one. So today is going to be an amazing show. We have got a new show premiering tomorrow called Zurura Show, and I'm privileged to have a gentleman and a lady behind the whole of that show. I have got Nick Wang'ondu. No, ladies first. Let me start again.
Yes.
Please, not Nick. Not Nick. Tunaweza vuju hapa, my friend. So let's just say that we've not started the introduction.
Okay.
Let me start by Ashiko Mbune.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. And then you want to tell me that Zurura Show is not going to be Zururaing around. With that smile, she is the host of the show, as well as Nick Wang'ondu, who is the creator and the host of the show as well. Karibuni kwa show.
Asante.
Set yetu inakaaje?
Iko smart.
Mkazurura huko. Mliona set kama hii?
Tukarudi tu hapa.
And I'm told that Nick was an intern.
Yes, here at KBC.
Yes.
About 11 years ago when I came back from uni. Yeah, I was here for 4 months. I had the pleasure of working under your producer.
Yes.
Ben. Here on the floor running around. And 11 years later I'm back here premiering a show that...
How does it feel?
It's amazing. You know, this we couldn't find a better home than bringing out this show on KBC. Yeah.
So it's like you're taking it back home.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How is it? Sisi, we know Ben as Ben.
Yeah.
How is it working with Ben way back then 11? I can imagine the way alikuwa nakaa kama hii kalamu way back
He's
then.
still stressful, man. Yeah, at least now ameongeza kidogo, you know, but even back then he was still stressful like he is now.
Ben, umesikia hiyo disclaimer, not from me, not from me, from Nick. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the show. All right. So we have a new show premiering tomorrow. Let me just start with you now, Ashiko. How did you come about with the name Kuzurura? Because we all know the meaning of Kuzurura. Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, let me just give you a small history. When I was younger, I got into a lot of trouble for Kuzurura.
Yes.
Because I was always very curious about what's happening over there. You know, sometimes I'd be back home after when you're supposed to be home.
Right.
I'm out there, and I would always get into trouble. But there was the sheer curiosity of what lies beyond my fence, what lies in the next estate. And, you know, we'd always call that Kuzurura. Kuzurura, in its sense, means wandering aimlessly. But here on the show, and as Nick will definitely expound on that, as the creator of the show, the purpose was to wander with, the aim was to wander with purpose. Yeah. So it's sort of just playing around with the name so that, you know, we can start a movement of Zurura. Yeah.
To localize the name of Kuzurura.
Exactly. And there's always been that negative connotation.
Zurura kudogo. Yeah. But that's how the whole idea of Zurura came about, is that?
Exactly, because also, you know, a lot of people asked us, you know, like there's this negative connotation with the word Zurura. But when, as Ashiko said, when you look at the actual definition, it's to wander without purpose, to wander aimlessly. Yes. So us guys were just like, why not take a nice spin on this and actually use it and make it something that's a bit catchy? Yes. You know, that's why just like call the show Zurura, but this time we're wandering with purpose, with an aim to explore somewhere. Yeah.
So for those people who don't understand what Zurura show is all about, tell me, what's the Zurura all about? You're the creator.
It's a show that highlights culture, promotes our heritage, that really puts an eye on Kenya and gives Kenyans a nice view of something they haven't seen, and invigorates us to go out there and explore more of our country. That's really what it is in a nutshell.
We are a stressed nation. Everybody else is stressed. We need time to cool off our feet once in a while.
And you know, Victor, it's always been, there's always been a myth that traveling is a high-end activity.
Is it so?
It is not, and I'm very proud to say that it's actually not, because for the past couple of months we have been able to tour most of the counties in the country, and we're trying to break the myth that people believe that for you to be able to travel, for you to be able to explore your country, for you to be able to visit other places, you need to have, you know, an amicable bank balance, but that is not so. So we have discovered that we want to break the mold and tell people, you know what, Zurura, get to know your country. You can go to a place where you'll find a nice nice hotel or a nice restaurant or an Airbnb that is very affordable. You can engage in other activities aside from, let's say, going to party or drinking. You can invest in the community or in the culture that you have found there present. So the drive behind Zurura, aside from showcasing Kenya in her beauty and splendor, is to also encourage Kenyans to travel, you know, to just broaden the horizon.
Actually, it's we were talking about, Nick, just before we went on air, that we need to have a particular kind of a budget. For example, let me just say I've got like 20k or 30k. You can save for that and go and have a place for your whole weekend, you know, with like a small family. Just enjoy. And somebody said that the experience is the only thing that you can buy with money. Travel, and you will always remember. You remember when you were still young, that I remember when you were still young, my dad used to take us to the showground. That's an experience that you have, but you'll not remember the kind of shoes you have bought when you were 2 or 3, 5 years old. But places you visited is what will always be entrenched in your head. So is that what you're trying to achieve? You know, a show at a cost, and let somebody go out there and have fun.
You know, for us, what's really important is, you know, everybody thinks that traveling has to be leaving the country. It has to be going to Mombasa, going to Naivasha. Exactly, you know, going to Seychelles, Mauritius. But the thing is, there's so much stuff to do in Kajiado, in Athi River, in our own backyard. And for us, it's also really important that, like, if I was to ask you, how do you say hello in French? You'd probably be able to say, would you be able to say hello in French?
Bonjour.
Exactly. But if I was to say hello in Kipsigis, can you say hello in Kipsigis?
Yamune.
Ah, well done.
Good for you.
You see, good, so clearly you've been traveling.
Good for you. That's very impressive.
That's amazing scenes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
This is in Athi River. This is actually in Athi River.
This is Athi River?
This is actually in Athi, a wonderful place called Stony Athi, and they've got really nice activities there.
You enjoyed, you had fun. 4x4. What are some of the... Is it a rhino charge or something?
So it's not even a rhino charge. These guys have boulders all over the place. They've got really nice dams.
Somebody had there.
Exactly. This was fishing off Mombasa Road. This was just next to Athi River.
Are you for real?
Exactly.
So we have fish from Athi River here.
You've got fishing from Athi River. You know, you don't have to go far. Everybody thinks you need to go to Naivasha to go and do fishing. But the thing is, you can actually get a permit for fishing, and you can go and do it on your own.
This is interesting. Not so far away from Nairobi, actually. Athi River. Like 1 hour drive.
It's actually called Mtoamawe.
What are some of the challenges that you face when you're doing this kind of shoots?
Number one is it's unpredictable. You know, sometimes you get there and the environment is unpredictable. Weather is another thing. For us guys, one of the biggest challenges that we faced, especially production-wise, was the pandemic. You know, we were meant to have gone into production in January last year, and we were getting ourselves ready to get into production. Then, of course, in March, Corona happened. Everything got shut down. So a lot of the partners that we had made deals with, a lot of the activity providers that we had made deals with, everything came to a halt. So we had to basically go back to the drawing board. And to be honest, it was really difficult. You know, you go to properties, and as much as they want you there, they literally can't afford to have you there. So we had properties that went above and beyond to really accommodate us there. And the fact is, if it wasn't for our accommodation partners, our activity partners, this show wouldn't be premiering.
It's always so hard to get production to its completion, like a whole season. And for you as a lady, you have to be most of the time out and about, doing the shoot and all that. The kind of pressure that you people go through. Tell me about that.
See, Victor, let me just give you a brief history. This is the first time I'm actually doing this, so I'm as green as they come. You know, green. But the opportunity, when Nick reached out to me, the opportunity could have not been at, you know, that was a perfect time for me. I'm from, you know, I was in corporate Kenya for a number of years, did the 8 to 5 job, and then I got into zombie mode. That's what I call it, where you just wake up in the morning, go make somebody money, and then go back home. And there was a yearning deep within me. As I
said, do something for yourself.
I've always been Mzururaji, you know. I like exploring. I like knowing things.
So it's like she's the one who came up with the name.
Unless you say the name
chose me.
All right.
So for this whole time, when Nick reached out to me, and of course, I mean, it sounded too good to be true. Like, who gets paid to travel? It sounded unbelievable. So when we did have a sit down and we discussed everything, and he explained to me the nitty-gritties of what actually goes on when you're shooting a show, where you have the number of episodes, how long you're going to be on the road for, you may be away from your family for, you know, weeks on end, away from the comfort of your home. Remember, I was a creature of habit for a number of years. It was very scary. at first, but of course the zeal inside and the excitement, you know, something had to give. I said, okay, fine, then let's go forth. And like Nick has said, meeting the kind of people and the individuals that we have met out there has made the experience completely.
It opens your eyes.
Your eyes
appreciate
open.
The beauty of our land.
You know, I'm a very firm believer that we are scared of what we don't understand. And by only if you immerse yourself completely in a different culture, in a different tribe, in a different profession, is the only time that you'll actually appreciate. And that is what I've gotten.
Have it again.
Yes.
Where was exactly that? This was in just on the border of the national park.
Yes.
A really nice property called Oloo Lodge.
Good
and
one.
this was at Buxton Tunnel in Kiambu County. Not many people know this tunnel is there.
I don't know. I've never been here.
Yeah, it's only a kilometer long, and you go inside there. Of course, you don't go there on your own. This wonderful group is called Let's Drift. Young guys who are taking people on local tours within Kiambu County. You get linked up with them. They'll take you for the tour. Of course, they'll provide you with security because you don't want to go through that 1 kilometer tunnel on your own.
Look at that.
Exactly. These guys are young, you know. Their membership before Corona was about maybe 90 members. As soon as Corona hit, like 2 months into Corona, it went from 90 to 1,000 members.
Are you serious?
To 1,000 members. And like
so guys wanted to travel.
People want to get out. The thing is, people want to get out. Everybody was trapped inside the house. People want to get out. This is Kitengela Glass.
Yes. So what you'll notice, Zurura is just not about traveling. So what we do is when we go to a specific county, because we have done county by county, we want to look at their e-commerce, we want to look at their business opportunities, because that's what Kenyans want to see. You just don't want to see the ocean and the forest all the time. Yeah, so like there we were doing organic. So we are also, it's infotainment. So we talked about organic farming, we talked about the balcony gardens. Most people live in apartments. What can you grow, especially when we are dealing with the food crisis, the pandemic? It's very important for you to be self-reliant. So Zurura is so much more than just let's go travel.
Yes.
So now here it's broaden your horizon. You know, discover what is out there, appreciate what is out there.
Yes, Nick.
Sorry, we've seen such interesting people. You know, there's a snake farm in Watamu that milks venomous snakes to sell the venom and also to save lives.
Yes.
You know, we've gone all the way to Eldoret to see Rivertex to understand the capacity of Kenya's manufacturing. You know, the same guys who are responsible for our president's shirts. You know, so it's really interesting when you see these different vying lifestyles and all these people that make up the fabric that is Kenya.
You've just talked about from Watamu to Eldoret. Have you gone to Homa Bay?
Yes,
Lake Victoria.
Yes, we have.
If you've not, that show will not premiere tomorrow. You have to look for a scene, make sure that scene is done and fixed.
Not only did we go, we went to find out where omena comes from.
We went fishing.
With the fishermen. We went with the fishermen.
You see?
To understand where omena comes from. We actually went to one of the local restaurants there for them to make it for us to actually show us how it's properly made. Not how some people cook it in.
You see, when we're talking
What's
about
Zurura, let's not talk about omena, how it's made. it's 8.
Yeah, it's only lunchtime. No, we're far from lunch.
Not yet, lunchtime.
Bado.
And Kitui, did you ever go to Kitui? Kwa kida Ben Kamute there?
Not yet, but we'll visit Ben's home ground. We'll get there. That's why we're doing season 2.
Yes.
Ben is saying that kama mutenda Kitui because you know he's going to show something will be done. That the show will just hang mid-air or just freeze. Yes, it freeze to happen. Ben, you know what I'm talking about. That is it. So you know, as Kenyans, this is where you get a whole view of Kenya 360 degrees, because when you have, you know, a travel show, people love traveling. The moment, in fact, they say, do not wait for people for you to start traveling. Pack your bags and go. You will meet new people there.
Yeah.
And I'm so sure that you've been meeting people, new experiences, different cultures. Tell me one of that amazing culture that you, as Ashiko, you left the comfort of your house and you just said like, wow, this is Kenya.
And I'm not being biased.
No. Yes, appreciate what you saw.
I'm not being biased. So obviously you study history in high school, and you always hear about the legends.
Yes.
You know, the legends. And what we did is we visited the Nabongo Cultural Center.
Yeah, by the way, we have legends. We're talking about the legends.
Yes, we're
we
talking
have them
about
here.
and there are so many.
We have the legends.
We visited the Nabongo Cultural Center,
Yes.
and for me to see what I have been studying, what I've been reading in the books, and I was able to see the graves of the various Nabongo Mumia, you know, from dates, you know, 1867, all of that. That experience to me was very emotional. It was very moving. When you see something that you read, of course, then you know that the impact, the memory is going to be so much more. The other experience that was wonderful was Luanda Magere. So we went to the history that is involved when you travel, when you immerse yourself. When we Zurura, we immerse ourselves completely into our culture. What do the people do? We interact with them. We visited and we found a 90-something-year-old man, and he has been taking care of the compound where of course you know the legend of Luanda Magere and how he turned into a stone. So he's been taking care of that whole property, and this was by sheer luck. We had not called ahead and said we need somebody to be there to guide us around, nothing like that. We got there in the morning, we found that he's just doing his usual chores that he always does. He's talking and he's old, bent over completely, but such a vibrant spirit, and he was walking around and he was talking to Luanda, and he was having a conversation, and we changed the whole narrative. As much as we'd come with a guide, we were like, no, the story lies with this guy. We saw the rock, we saw
in fact, we even told the guy to keep quiet.
We told the guy to
we're just like, I'm there.
And he could not speak a lick of Swahili or English, so he was speaking in Oloo, and you could feel the impact of what he's talking about. So there was a lady now, our guide was translating for us, and the experience is something that I think I'm going to carry to the grave, because it was not something that was bought. It was priceless. It was not something that I bought or put in the house, or it was something that is historical, and it will stay with me. Even being in that presence, there was some serenity, and I remember we discussed a lot with my producer about how the air here is even different, because it's rich with culture, it's rich with history, and once you know something like that, I have no choice but to respect the culture and the Luo community. And I believe the more we respect and understand each other's culture, then it will go a very long way in promoting
Please,
unity.
Nick, just it sounds like you're getting into your own skin, and you want to understand how the story of Luanda Magere, who is this kind of a person, but even during that time you're shooting the entire season. Tell me the journey. Tell me the journey of, doing the shoot and the pre-production until now you are here. The first episode premieres tomorrow at 8 p.m.
It's been challenging. It's been exciting. We shot this pilot 5 years ago. We shot the pilot 5 years ago. For 5 years, we've been knocking on doors, and just hoping that somebody would understand our vision, they'd see what it was that we wanted to achieve, what we wanted Kenyans to see, what we wanted Africans to see. Because at the end of the day, if we can't appreciate our own country, what makes you think people from outside are going to appreciate it? So eventually, we approached Union Pay International, which is our main sponsor. It's one of the biggest credit companies in the world. And they understood our vision. And they came on board and said, look, we understand that this is a beautiful show. It's a show that promotes culture, heritage. So we'll back you guys. And we started getting into production, as I said, last year, January. But Corona happened. So everything went organized.
Just went south.
Everything went pear-shaped. Like airlines that we had gotten really nice deals with, all of them shut down. Properties that were giving us accommodation for a crew of 9 shut down. Activity providers shut down. But at the same time, we have a budget that's been released. We have to move. Work has to happen. And thankfully for our sponsor, they understood what the situation that we're in. So they said, look, as long as you've still got the energy to do it, go out there, do it. We completely understand what's happening around the world. So we went out there, and we found people who are happy to accommodate us. We had some properties that didn't even have food to feed us, but they had beds. They told us, look, we'll give you beds. We've let go of all our stuff. So we'll bring back the chef to help cook for you guys, but we can't afford to feed you guys.
You can imagine traveling with Ashiko all the way.
I know. Just to add on something, we also had to be very flexible. So, and I remember the producer would always say we have to wear many hats, because we are dealing with very and these are different circumstances. So you'd find that Nick would be my co-host. He would be the director. He would be
the DOP, the cameraman,
the driver. It would be what I would be cooking. I would be here. Everybody had to chip in, but of course we were being pushed with the love and the belief that we had in this particular project.
Are you happy that at the end of the day it's now here premiering with all those challenges?
Happy. I'm proud. I'm so proud to have achieved what we've been able to achieve together in the time that we've been able to achieve it, with the circumstances that we've been under to be able to achieve it. But I'm proud, you know, I'm proud that we've created a fantastic package. I'm really proud that you know, other production houses would go through a thing of auditioning hosts, but Ashiko and I had been friends on Facebook. We've been friends on Facebook. Yeah.
How did you meet?
Facebook. We're friends on Facebook.
No. Okay. Okay.
The power of social media.
Before you tell me how you meet, that's a drift.
That's Whistling Moran, yeah.
And that's me.
You're the one who did
that. That's
drift.
Ashiko, yeah. And
What's
that's
that?
her getting ready. That's Ashiko
That's
getting
me
ready.
gearing up. You see, some of these things I had never done them before.
Good one.
But you know, when you're diving into the unknown, you go for it.
Yeah.
For Safari Rally, drift. Come on. There you go.
Yeah, so I was saying, like, I mean, like, so we met on Facebook.
Yeah.
I know her from Facebook. She was still in corporate Kenya. So I was just like, you know, from her posts, I was like, this person is really outgoing. She's really funny.
That's
and I'm just
SGR.
like, yes,
That's a beautiful shot.
That's really
a
wonderful.
shot.
That's
Yeah.
and that's also Alan Donovan's house.
Yes. So you said that you met on Facebook.
Met on Facebook. She's still in corporate Kenya.
Where is
so
this?
for me, this
Where
is
is this?
in Kitengela.
Yes,
Wow.
this is
Alan Donovan's house.
African Heritage House.
Kitengela.
Yes.
Exactly where? Where is this?
Near, is it Mulolongo?
Yes.
Yes.
This is beautiful. This is
Yeah.
beautiful. This is beautiful.
And this
African
is just a
Heritage House.
snippet. You'll definitely
I mean,
have
this
to
house
tune
is
in.
no less than 45 minutes from here.
This is beautiful. You just go there.
Yeah.
As a family, you know, just, you know,
You can go there for
Enjoy
lunch.
the grounds, you know, have a look.
relax,
Yeah.
then come back.
And come back
It's a
home.
Sunday, Monday, you go back to work.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the whole. I envy you.
So
envy
I
you.
love the way I am seeing it
Yeah.
happen in front of my eyes, the transformation, the ideologies that you had before
Yeah.
about traveling, where the locations for traveling, no, there's no fault with these particular locations, but I'm saying there's so much more. It's not just Mombasa, Nanyuki, you know,
Masai Mara.
there's Masai Mara,
Yeah.
where people think, oh my God, I need so much money. There's Whistling Moran, you can go and spend the whole day. There's Ngong, I went zip lining, I have never
Yes.
done that before. There's so many things that were just maybe 30,
You went
40.
shooting in Estonia, I think.
I went, there was shooting in Stony. There were so many activities that you can do, because we've been socialized to believe that Kenyans don't have extracurricular, and that's how maybe we find
I
ourselves.
don't think so. I don't think so. Is it
Because
that
we don't know.
We don't create time for ourselves, or we're too busy that we don't create time for ourselves? Because they say too much work and less play will always make you a very dull person. You don't feel like your head is packed. But then the question is, the whole of this idea to have the Zurura show, you've told me that you people met on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you just create that chemistry and say that, hey, Ashiko, I'm going to trust you. Nick, I'm going to trust you, that we have to deliver this product at the end of the day.
You know, what I believe is that you have natural born stars. You have people who have the natural innate talent in them. And just from her posts on Facebook, just from some of the stuff she used to say and some of the videos that she would post, I was just like, she's got that star, that star factor, you know? And I was just like, let me first meet her and find out if she's actually who she says she is on Facebook. Because, you know, you can have the character of Facebook,
and then
in actuality, that person
Exactly.
is they're not the same person.
They say you remove the veil.
Exactly.
Yeah,
remove the
okay,
veil.
now before I declare your husband, okay, now remove the veil. This is the wife I talk about.
So I actually reached out to her, and like for a month she didn't respond. Maybe she thought I was cutting her.
Yes.
No, she didn't respond for a month, but eventually she came. We had a meeting. She met our head of production.
Yes.
Who's also the co-creator of the show. She met the head of production. We told her what the show was about, and she loved the idea. And the head of production told me afterwards, she's just like, I can see what you saw in her. She's got the natural talent.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't have to really do auditions. Of course, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
You know, you could have somebody who they could really be nice on their social media, but as soon as you put it in front of a camera and they see the red light, they freeze.
Yes.
Completely, like a deer in headlights. But that wasn't her. You know, for her, she thrived on the camera. She thrived meeting new people, engaging new people, wanting to find out what does your community eat? Where do you guys go and shop? I see
Curiosity.
women here making beads. Where do you get the beads from? You know, can I help you? So for me, I was just like, that's what we need, and money can't buy that.
No.
It can't.
No.
It can't.
The experience. What are you trying to achieve with this particular show? What's so much important to you, even as the show is ready to be premiered tomorrow? What do you want to achieve at the end of the day?
I want Kenyans to be proud. I want Kenyans to be proud when they see all these beautiful places around them, you know. And look, the Masai Mara is part of us.
Yes.
You know, Mombasa is part of us. Samburu is part of us. But also there's other parts of Kenya that need to be discovered. And it's not that they're not there, they're there. And just by you watching this show, you get to see, you mean you could do this in Ngong? Ngong is not far.
Yeah.
You mean you could go to this house
just how creative you get.
Exactly.
When you want to have fun, right?
Yeah. So for us, it's a show that we want Kenyans to be proud of it. We want Kenyans to look at it and, you know, talk about it and say, this is something that promotes our culture, our heritage. Because for us, it's so important that our culture and heritage is really pushed to the audience, because to a certain extent I feel like we're losing it, you know, especially with the Luth.
You're right.
We're losing it slightly.
Yes.
Yeah. So for us, most importantly is that it's also a family show. You know, there's not many family shows or travel shows that you can sit down and watch with your kids without it being slightly a little bit uncomfortable to watch.
It's
but
general
for us,
audience.
Exactly. It's a general audience show. So we want you to sit down with your family, with your kids, with your grandparents, and watch the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ashiko.
Yes.
Do we as Kenyans embrace our culture from the show that you know you traveled across, you saw all manner of things, you enjoyed food from different communities, you know, the clothing, you saw different animals that you've never seen anywhere.
But
The birds, for example, what can you say about Kenya? Do we appreciate what we have?
I think we don't appreciate it fully.
Yes.
Not because we do not want to, but because we do not know. We do not know what's out there. Most of us were either born and bred in the metropolitan, you know, and Ushago was something that was always, you know, staki kwenda Ushago,
then you come back.
but you go for a day trip, and even when you go there, you just interact with your grandparents.
Yes.
I do not want to point fingers, but I said somewhere along the way we lost our culture. Somewhere along the way we lost our direction. Somewhere along the way we looked to ape other cultures instead of ours. So we don't appreciate it enough, not because we cannot, but because we do not know. So what the show is hoping to achieve, and I'm a firm believer, and I will never hesitate to reiterate that, we fear what we do not understand. What the show wants to achieve is to ensure that you see, what does a Kipsigis man look like?
Absolutely.
What does their culture look like? What do the Toluo look like? What do the Kikuyu look like? Once I understand you, Victor, there is absolutely no way I can come at you.
Okay, Ashiko, I want us to take a look at some. There's a scene here.
Yeah.
Director, that one.
Yes.
That one.
Yes.
Wewe drone inaingia ndani ya nyumba.
Now you're asking secrets
Amko
about
serious.
cinematography.
Who directed that shot?
I did.
No, you cannot take all the credit, Maze.
He actually did. That was all him.
Yeah, I was the director for the show as well as the director of
So we're a crew
photography.
that wears different hats. So
we had to, you know, we had to.
So he's the
in order for us to
director.
also move forward in other seasons, and of course, you know, God willing, the crew will get bigger.
Yeah.
Is we have to understand the nitty gritty of every single thing in that production. So going into season 2, I can't have a cameraman come and tell me, oh, I can't do that. It's just like, no, we did it in season 1. You can do it. And we had one person taking on like 4 or 5 roles. We can't have a makeup artist come in and say, no, Ashiko needs to do this. She knows how to do her own makeup. She's been doing her own styling to a certain extent when you get to certain shoots.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So it's extremely important to wear all those hats. Yeah.
I want to ask this question intentionally. If I had, today is Thursday, and most people, it's end of the month. If I have 3,000 shillings in my pocket right now, can I enjoy myself?
Yes, absolutely.
From that show alone, if I have got 3K on the maximum side,
Yes.
can I enjoy myself?
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Compass.
Give me, okay, start with you.
I will start with where I went personally.
Yes.
There's a location on Ngong Hills known as Compass.
1.
There's Whistling Moran,
2.
where you can go drift. There is Muguga Forest.
Where's Muguga Forest?
Muguga Forest
Muguga
is just,
Forest, Kiambu County.
you know, you can just,
Right. 3.
There's less drift, like what he did.
Yes.
Where you go and meet, and then there's also the cycle,
Exploring.
Yeah.
So those are already 5.
5.
With less than 3K.
3K.
Yeah.
But then you can even throw in a soda inside there.
Yeah. Maybe even chips.
And lunch.
Yeah. Definitely.
3K.
And then, you know, when you
have a day's activities.
You have a day's activity, and it's not even restricted to just you or a man or a woman. You can carry the whole family. Everybody can be there. You can enjoy yourself. So we genuinely do not have an excuse anymore to sit down and say, siendi pahali juu sina do.
Sina pesa. You can have 2K.
Wacha nifanye maybe a certain activity that is definitely not of your own well-being. You can take a walk, go hike, go ride a bike, go do. And if I was able, let me use myself as the poster child. Mimi kama Ashiko. Mimi kama nilitoboa kufanya vitu zingine. Kila mtu anaweza toboa. It's not an excuse. No one should sit and say they cannot be able to do it.
Like, for example, getting into this house, you just look at the marvel, you know, look at that, you look at the structures, you know, the antiques in that house, the clothing.
That house is amazing. That house is so amazing because the thing is, when you actually get to it, you don't realize that every aspect of that house is African inspired. From the exterior architecture, you know, modeling the houses in Guinea. When you go to the interior, you've got lampshades from Egypt. You know, you've got carpets from Lesotho. The collections inside there are it's priceless. You know, you've got really beautiful artifacts inside there. And then the best thing about it is that you're just not going there for like lunch, because you can go there for lunch. You can either go there for lunch, or you can go there and actually stay at the house. But the curator of the home actually takes you on a journey throughout the whole house. So he'll explain to you where this artifact came from, where these beads come from, how come the Sudanese don't use these swords, these spears anymore. You know, he'll take you through a whole tour of the house, and it's amazing because personally for me, I've never been to a house like that. You know, you go to some houses where people have marble countertops from Italy, you know, but when you look at this African architecture, it's just like, why are we doing that? You know, you go here in Kenya, we have some of the best black marble in Africa, but people import marble from Italy. Why? Why is that?
Ben says, you know Ben very well. Ben amesema tunamaliza show. You are his intern at some point.
Ben, we're going to go to Kitui. Stop cutting me off.
Ben, he says that kama kona show, how much will it, you know what I'm talking about, quote unquote. So what do you expect tomorrow at 8 p.m. Moving forward? Some fireworks, right?
Yes, absolute fireworks.
In 30 seconds,
you need to expect to see Kenya like you have never seen her before.
Good one.
You need to experience the industries, the culture, the diversity. Meet our heroes, our unsung heroes who have excelled in their line of duty, who have enabled us to fall in love with Kenya all over again.
Nick,
you know what we also found exciting is just by watching the show, just being a viewer at home and watching the show, you too can actually stay at these properties that we anchored the show from, because we have a hidden gem that we're now challenging the audience members to find, and if they find it, they might get 2 nights full board accommodation to that property. Exactly. So the things we're saying, that's why we call it Find Your Adventure, because you're not just watching a show to have that aspirational life of this is where I'd like to go, this is what I'd like to see. You can actually win a trip watching the show.
Wow.
Yeah. It's as simple as watch, play,
win.
Ashiko,
Nick, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Tomorrow
having
is
us.
Friday. Tomorrow is a big day, the second day of the month, all right? And at 8 p.m., the show will premiere here, the Zurura show. So it's all about you sitting there at home and enjoy the view of Kenya from the comfort of your home, all right? They said, at a cost of 3,000 shillings, you can still have fun. You don't have to have a million bob to have fun. Just start, go there, and of course, you'll always have to enjoy yourself. Cooler. Travel, go somewhere, then meditate, come back home and be ready for the next.